Woken up like this, he's going to move around and check things out until he feels comfortable enough to go back to sleep. Oh, shortcut over the top. Oh, that's a little fella. That's not even 3,000 pounds, which is usually my starting point for what an adult milk.
Jeff. Good, how are you? Now I've actually got a couple grandkids down there at Disney. Oh, that's right. That's okay.
Well, they couldn't even find the okapi until 1901. Some of you may believe the okapi might be related to a zebra, but actually it's more closely related to a giraffe. On the right and on the left, you'll see two different types of antelope. The ones on the right are known as greater kudu. The ones on the hill on the left are known as bongos. Bongos are known as ghosts of the forest as they blend in with their surroundings. Greater kudu are among the second largest antelope on the reserve. Female greater kudu do not have any horns at all, but male greater kudu tend to have the longest horns of most antelope. We're going to head down towards the watering hole over on the left-hand side. These watering holes are actually very essential. Some animals may migrate for hundreds of miles just to get a nice good drink of water. But we're going to start making our way over towards the other end of the Little Italy Forest and start making along the shoreline. You can spot a hippo. Hippos can go up to 2 miles inland in search of food. They largely prefer to stay near the border edge of the rivers. Now, hippos can normally weigh up to nearly 5,500 pounds. And if you've ever seen an entire group of hippo, well, a group of hippo is normally known as a bloat. Usually the bloat of hippos are always there to protect one another, especially a mother and its baby. If you look closely, you can see the baby hippo right next to its mom over there. Whenever baby hippos are born, they weigh from 50 to 100 pounds. On the left as well, you can also see the pink-backed pelican. Pink-backed pelicans usually get their coloration around the mating season. A little interesting fact about the pink-backed pelican: after about a week or two, once they hatch, they grow to full size. They have an average wingspan of nearly 3 feet, but some can grow up to nearly 9 feet in diameter. Coming over on the left-hand side, you can also see the Nile crocodile. Nile crocodiles can grow up to 15 feet in length and weigh up to 500 pounds. Little interesting detail about Nile crocodiles is that both mothers and fathers will carry their eggs in their mouth to protect the eggs from any potential predators. Now, we're starting to leave the Safi River to drink from this tree over here on the right. This is known as the baobab tree. To the local natives, the baobab tree is also known as the tree of life, so they witness animals puncture and drink from the trunk of the tree, which is said to contain at least 1,000 gallons of water. We're now starting to enter into the savannah, and as you can see, much of the Serengeti grasslands tends to dot all over the landscape. Serengeti grass is actually very nutritious to many animals, providing a lot of vitamin B and D, as well as some healthy minerals. But it also provides cover for any predators nearby. On the right-hand side, you might notice that there's many of these trees that are very identical in height. These are mostly acacia trees. Acacia trees tend to be poisonous to most other animals, except for one, the giraffe. As giraffes have numbing agents within their tongues and saliva, they're able to eat the leaves at their own leisure, and not worried about getting poisoned. Coming up on the left, you can see the African wild dog. African wild dogs are Africa's most successful hunters. These guys have an 80 to 85% success rate. That's because they actually know how to work together in a pack in order to bring down their prey. Because of their pack-like mentality, they actually make sure the weakest among them are fed first. That way they become stronger for later hunts. In other countries, the African wild dog is also known as the painted dog, based on the markings on their fur. Coming up on the left, you can see the sable antelope. Sable antelope are the symbol of the Harambe Reserve. The long, curved horns of the sable antelope are said to be strong enough to even repel a lion. They usually come in 2 different colors. Males will turn to a jet black color. Females retain the reddish-brown coloring. On the right and on the left of you, you might notice these large rock-like formations. These are not rocks, these are termite mounds. Termite mounds are made out of termite saliva, dirt, and dung, all stacked together. When heated by the hot sun, termite mounds become as hard as concrete, which allows both giraffes and elephants to use them as a stretching post. Antelope will sometimes climb on top of the worn out ones to spy for any predators hiding in the grasslands. Now you might notice how throughout the savannah there are several trees that seem to have been knocked down. Originally, most savannas actually started off as a forest, but then over time, a certain large animal would slowly knock the trees down to make more room for itself to walk around in. As more trees are knocked down, more grazing animals come out into the open and graze in the open savanna until it looks like what it does today. On the right-hand side, you can see the white-bearded wildebeest. Wildebeest get their name from the Afrikaans word of wild beast. In other countries, they're also known as gnu. Behind the wildebeest, you can see the Patterson's eland, one of the largest antelope out here on the reserve. They could grow up to 6 feet at the shoulder and weigh a whopping 2,000 pounds. And right next to us right here, folks, you'll be able to see a nice dashing look at the Maasai giraffe. Maasai giraffes can grow up to 20 feet in height. They are among the world's tallest land mammals. They can grow that height, but usually stop between 18 to 20. Giraffes could actually extend their tongues up to 18 inches past their nose, allowing them to reach many of the leaves high above. Some really interesting facts about giraffes. Did you know that a giraffe will only sleep up to 30 minutes a day? Sometimes not even a full solid 30. Sometimes it may be broken up into 5-minute intervals. Most of their lifetimes. Female elephants prefer to stay in tight-knit family herds. Around the age of 13, the male elephant would actually leave away from the main herd, forming his own bachelor herds. We're gonna make our way around here, folks, and see if we can find the rest of the herd that this male elephant originally came from. Usually, they'll stay within 5 to 10 miles, but there's a nice good photo opportunity for you folks. He normally doesn't even get this close. Now, the sad factor for both male and female elephants is sadly almost every day 96 elephants are poached for their ivory tusks. That's about 700 in about a week, 2,800 in about a month. If this continues, the African elephant could go extinct in less than a decade. Thankfully, there are many animal programs that have been established to protect the African elephant. The Disney Conservation Fund is actually one of these many programs, but it has also protected animals across 122 countries around the world. Now, if you look over on the right-hand side, you'll be able to see an elephant's tusk markings. They dig into rocks like these in order to eat the clay.
Wow.
On the left, you can see the female herd of elephants. Now, a female herd is usually guided by a matriarch. The matriarch has the final say as to where the elephants have to go to eat, sleep, and more specifically, the safety and care of any of the baby elephants. On average, though, this is very unique to the African elephant. A female elephant can only get pregnant once every 4 years, and they have a gestation period of nearly 24 months. While it is a horrifyingly long time, it does produce probably one of the cutest little animals out here in the savannah, a baby elephant, like that one you see all by its lonesome. That baby elephant is roughly a year old now, and a healthy weight of nearly 1,000 pounds. On average, it takes an African elephant 13 to 15 years to grow to a full adult. An average African elephant's diet is usually 300 pounds of food a day and nearly 40 gallons of water. That's at least 8 times more than the average human consumes in about a week or two. Most of the water is through the watering holes or through the baobab trees. Coming up on the left-hand side, you can see the greater flamingo. These flamingos are the lightest pink of the flamingo species. Their diet is highly consistent of beta-carotene, which allows the white feathers they normally have to turn pink. Beta-carotene is usually found in briny shrimp, which is microscopic shrimp. Did you know that a group of flamingos is actually called a flamboyant? And the flamboyant flamingos can contain at least 200,000 of them. Coming up on the left-hand side, you can see the bontebok. Bontebok are a type of antelope that are closely related to wildebeest. Female bontebok will tend to have curvier, slender horns compared to the males. Unfortunately for the blonde bontebok, they're sadly considered extinct in the wild. Coming up on the left here, you can see the white rhino. White rhinos could weigh up to nearly 5,000 pounds. They are 2,000 pounds heavier than black rhinos. Now, white rhinos actually don't have many predators. They only fear one particular predator: humans. Humans tend to take advantage of white rhinos since they have very poor vision. They can only rely on their hearing in order to defend themselves. Now, coming up on the hill on the left-hand side here, you can spot a pair of cheetahs. Cheetahs are among the world's fastest land mammals. They can run up to nearly 50 miles an hour. A cheetah's body is actually built more like a canine rather than a feline. Cheetahs don't make too many feline noises either. They actually emit high-pitched chirps to communicate with their cubs. Now, a little interesting fact about cheetahs. Cheetahs have a special spot over their eyes. That way, they can see better during the daylight. It's roughly around about 1.5 times larger than their body weight. Even then, it can only be something that is very fast, or at least not as fast as them. Now, coming up on the left, you can see a Kobe rock formation. These Kobe rocks tend to jut out of the savanna, providing a nice good vantage point for large cats. One such large cat is the African lion. On the rocks there is the female lion. Female lions are the hard workers of the pride. They're the ones to go out and hunt at night. Male lions, like the one that's currently sleeping, well, he's the one who's currently protecting. He's doing a fine job protecting the pride. Male lions can weigh up to 500 pounds. Female lions can weigh up to 300 pounds. Lion's eyesight is about the same as a human during the day, but at night, it's 6 times better than that of a human's. Coming up on the left, you can see some warthogs. Warthogs are among the largest known burrowing animals. Warthogs actually tend to have 2 pairs of tusks. The upper pair are used to dig the holes in the ground. The lower pair are actually razor sharp. As you might have witnessed there, usually warthogs can actually run up to speeds of nearly 30 to 35 miles an hour.
There's an ostrich.
On the right-hand side, you can spot one of the ostriches and some eggs in the ground. Those are ostrich eggs. Ostrich eggs are 10 times larger than chicken eggs and 30 times more denser. It's said that a human man could actually stand on top of an ostrich egg and it would not break. As for ostriches themselves, male ostriches tend to have much more darker feathers compared to the female counterparts. And while they can't fly, they still use their cruise.
Hey there, Roo.
My dog eats you. My dog eats you.
There's something here, like right. Yeah. Oh, it's nice and cool in here. Look outside of water. Oh wow, look at that. That's awesome. Just wanted to see the carvings over on this side.
There we go.